talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They talk about basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. The fucking season is coming, Sammy.
Dude, and so am I. This is game time.
Absolutely. I'm busting nuts, nut after nut. We're trying some new technology where every time one of our takes is wrong, we have one of those little vibrators in our asses, like the way the listeners can tip us. So try on Patreon. We're gonna start doing that where every time Sam mentions the Knicks, and every time
Ow!
It's gonna be a.
Have you seen Austin Rivers? Ow!
No, you're gonna be busting, dude. It's gonna be right on your prostate.
Oh, okay, good.
It's gonna be stimulation, dude. We are here, folks. We're so excited to do this episode, our season preview. I can't fucking wait. Basketball's coming on fucking Tuesday.
It's loaded, man. It really, like, the amount of good teams right now is pretty. It's stacked.
And opening night's gonna be awesome. Like I am in on, like, I can't wait to see. I hope the Warriors play. I hope Wiseman and Draymond play.
Draymond is still doubtful, they said.
Oh, if that cocksucker doesn't play, I'm gonna be pissed.
So annoyed. I want to see him play, and because that's kind of the cooler matchup. But then the Lakers-Clippers will be fun.
Clippers is gonna be awesome because
it's gonna be great. But I'm excited for the Warriors just being interesting again.
Yeah, it's not, like we said, it's nice to have Steph back.
Great. So
yeah. So much going on, so much basketball. We'll talk about a little bit at the end. We'll preview very quickly the actual matchups we have to watch this week. There's so much good shit. And by the way, that Wednesday is absolutely, I mean, they're talking about the opening night and the Christmas slate of games, which we all know we can't wait to see. But Wednesday there's like fucking 9 games, dude. It's like there's so much shit.
I got a gig in Royersford, Pennsylvania.
That's what we told Joe. Dude, I do not have a fucking gig. I'm gonna be on my fucking couch in Astoria, Queens, watching so much fucking basketball and probably prepping a fucking nice steak roast for Christmas. I can't wait, dude. I love Christmas. All the fucking NBA shit. I love Christmas Eve
too. For Jews, Christmas is great. We
absolutely
really used to have a bit about how, like, Christmas Day, we fucking run the city.
Yeah,
I used to love that.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Dude, we do, man. I mean, Christmas, 5 games. Is it on Christmas?
Yeah, it's from 10 a.m. or from 12. Yeah, See, me and my brother do Chinese on New Year's Eve. We keep it traditional because we've done a little cultural appropriation. We used to Chinese movies, but the more hoops I got into, it was like I just need to be in the house all day. So and the one problem with when you go out to eat Chinese or when you go out to eat anything on a holiday, you lose one of the most beautiful parts, which is leftovers. Yeah. So me and my brothers would.
I thought you were gonna say toilet access.
No. Listen, yeah. I will shit anywhere. I have no hangups whatsoever. I'll let it fly no matter where. I would use a subway bathroom. That's like a subway station bathroom. I'm telling you, I would in a pinch. I don't get. It's shit. Shit is coming out of my ass. The people that are like uppity about where they shit, it's insane to me. It's like you are destroying. You're the one desecrating it. Who gives a fuck what the hole you shit into looks like?
But you want it to have a nice.
You got to get quad strength, Sammy. You're telling me you've never squatted and fucking let one fly out of your ass cheeks?
I'm telling you, have you seen my quads? They're not strong.
Well, this might be part of your back issues, the whole lower chain.
For sure.
We got to start working on all right, we're going to start taking dumps in public to firm up your quads and hamstrings. But that's neither here nor there. Christmas, like I said, I started going traditional because we would eat at a restaurant, no leftovers. So Christmas Eve, now we go Chinese, we go Jewish, we go movies. We throw a little spin on it. We do mushrooms also. But so that's great. That's a very fun day. And then Christmas, I bake either a pork shoulder or I make a big steak roast.
That sounds good.
You smell the meat cooking all goddamn day while you're watching the 12 o'clock game, while you're watching the fucking 1 p.m. Then in the little break right around the 4 o'clock, you get you slice up the meat, you eat that up. you're feeling good, and then you're ready to go by the time the fucking primetime game comes on this
That
year.
sounds nice. I will be doing.
I've got
ordering.
it down to a science.
So I also will be doing some cocktail action. I've been experimenting. I did a little mango chili margarita in the blender. I'm doing a little
brother.
chili salt rim. I'm having an all right time here.
That's what I like to hear, bro. Yeah, we're gonna have a very nice time, and I'm gonna smoke weed. I've been sober off weed for the last month, and I'm like, let me just smoke. I'm gonna enjoy it on Christmas.
You're gonna earn it.
I'm gonna earn it, baby. So anyway,
I'm
fucking
like a winter.
thrilled.
I'm gonna do some winter scotch on.
I love that
on the Christmas.
Something
Day
peaty,
game.
nice and smoky.
Yeah, I think we should
like
do
some
something
peaty
smoky.
shit. I love the smoky shit.
I love the smoky shit. Lafroig, or maybe even fancier, some Lagavulin.
Ooh, some good shit. Fuck, you're about to make me go get some scotch right now, dude.
Love a little peaty scotch in the winter.
Me too, brother. Although I'm a little bitch, I do a scotch and soda.
Oh, you can't do that with the good stuff.
I'm fucking trash. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. If anything, I think that's a sign of true affluence, which is like I see your fucking expensive fucking bullshit, and I put Diet Coke in it.
No, it's not. No. It is not.
Yes, it is.
It. All right. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little.
It's affluence, dude. That's me disrespecting norms. That's me being radical and a blue collar radical man.
You are a radical.
Taking yes. That's the old boys club. I'm kicking the doors down and putting Dr. Pepper in my Lagavulin. I'm making a flaming mo with $100 scotch.
You're a fucking disgrace.
Putting cough syrup in it, just fucking.
You're making me so upset right now.
Anyway,
you're going into Peter Luger's. You're like, I'm just gonna pour some honey mustard I brought from home on the side.
What kind? Do you guys have Hidden Valley? Which ranch do you have? No need. I have my own. Just in a cooler and with dry ice, ready to go. Anyway, so we will be taking in basketball in a beautiful way this week. I can't wait for it. So let's fucking preview this fucking season.
Well, before we do we do have to touch on the Rudy Gobert $205 million deal and the Kyle Kuzma 3 years for $40.
Absolutely. So two big pieces of news. The Gobert news is huge. He was eligible for the full Supermax. He was eligible for the same contract Giannis got, which is hysterical. Yeah. Imagine paying that much to Rudy Gobert. But I will say he got 5 years, 205.
It's a lot of money.
15 more than Paul George. Just 20 shy of what Giannis got.
Paul George or Rudy Gobert?
Well,
I don't think that's a crazy question. I think like a year or two ago it might have been, but right now I'm kind of like Rudy's fucking good, man.
And Rudy is 20. What is he? 27, 28.
Yeah.
So you
and
get
defensively,
him,
he's giving you. He is doing the dirty work, so that guys like Donovan Mitchell can just throw down electric dunks.
Yeah, Rudy's 28. That takes him through. That's his absolute prime. And PG is what, 31?
I think so. 30, 31. He might be 30.
If he's 30, what? I mean, the way Paul George played last year, dude. I don't know.
30.
He's 30. Yeah, I mean, it's not that big a difference. I guess actually, Paul George's contract is a little less even. That's crazy to say. I guess I still take Paul George. I'm sorry sorry for the Utah fans. I think you have for the next 3 years, that's a legit. I mean,
it really is dependent on what PG can give you in the playoffs. Because at his peak, you take him over Gobert because of his two-way ability, but PG's been fucking bad in the playoffs.
He's been bad, and Rudy and the end of that contract is going to be bad. And Rudy, you have to think the next 5 years he'll be 33. He's still fucking huge. He's going to be huge even at 33.
Remember, though, he will be huge, but a lot of that is, he's not like super athletic.
Yeah, if he loses even a step athletically.
That fucks you in the pick and roll.
But you know what? The one thing that helps Rudy here in this discussion is that even 2 years ago, you would say Paul George, no question, because of the way the league was playing. But if you're in the West and you got AD and fucking Jokic in perpetuity to deal with, if you're Utah, that it's almost like fuck yeah, I'll take him. I need someone to stop those guys.
Yeah, so, it's just tough because no one's stopping AD, and you know what? he lost to Jokic. Jokic outplayed him, and
Yeah.
I mean it's tough.
But
I
at
do
least
think-
you have a guy who has a chance. He does.
Not only
Whatever
that-
you want to say about Rudy, has a chance
Agreed.
at stopping those guys.
and he also has
I mean,
shown
AD's a
loyalty to-
problem. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't guard out, which is tough.
No, he doesn't. And he is like a rim protecting, great rebounding big. He's huge. But yeah, dude, it is a big deal that Utah's in contention every year now. They will be in the mix every year.
And here's what I really like about this contract is like, okay, Harden's leaving and there's a little something going on there, but it doesn't, if you look at the league and you're like, okay, we've all been complaining about how stars change teams every couple years and, there's no loyalty. You can't get used to anything, but you take a look around and you kind of think these teams are these teams. Like, we're going to get to see these teams play
Unless
this core.
You never know.
Yeah, but AD is locked up. LeBron is locked up. Giannis just locked up. Gobert and Mitchell locked up for 5 years.
Giannis is locked up until this team underachieves in the postseason, and all of a sudden he ain't so happy.
Sure, but I'm just saying for the next 2 years, you got to think Brooklyn's not changing. The Clippers aren't changing. Philly is the big wild card, obviously, but I would like it if they didn't change.
Man,
I would like it if they were
Paul George.
hanging around.
If Paul George really sucks again in the postseason, Kawhi might leave.
That would be fucking hysterical. I can't see it, though.
I can't see it either, but it's not impossible to picture.
Not impossible at all. But anyway, there is something cool. There is something cool to continuity and being like, it would be great if if we just had, as much as I don't fuck with the Celtics, it would be cool if Tatum and Brown were just their guys. You know what I mean? Like, we just see who's there.
I think they are. I mean, they are both locked up, right?
Bam, and all those shooters. It's like, hell yeah, with an aging Jimmy. It's just like, it's fucking cool. What they got going on is cool. Luka's not going anywhere. Luka, you know what I mean? KP is interesting. Whether he stays healthy or whether they even flip him.
He's locked up.
He's locked up, but I'm just saying, it's kind of cool. I kind of think we might be in for the same, like, and here's an opportunity for real rivalries to pop up. I'm getting excited. My dick got a little hard.
I felt
because next free agents, there's nothing.
I felt a little pop, dude.
It's cool. I'll say that.
I will say this. I think Utah kind of is not. Look, it's not a desirable market for an NBA player. That being said, not a lot of distractions. All right.
Yeah.
You got to love basketball. And I feel like Mitchell, Ingles, Gobert, Conley, I feel like they are like basketball junkie types,
Yeah, we'll see. Conley's interesting. He started heating up a little bit towards the end, but
he looked real good in the playoffs.
We'll talk.
Bogdanovich. Are they better than the Nuggets right now? Or no?
We'll get to that in our preview.
Sorry.
Don't get don't.
I got hard for a second.
You got hard. You're about to bust. You had to be. That's you when you're pumping away and you're like, all right, it's been 4 minutes. I got to take a breather and eat some pussy here for a second before I come 4 minutes into this sexual encounter.
Good luck getting that content on the low post, guys. So, how about
okay, that's the Gobert.
3 years, $40 million for Kuz. I think it's a pretty good deal.
The first thought I had when I saw that was, that's a much more tradable contract. That's the first thought I had because Kuzma wasn't making enough money to be tradable. It's a pretty good contract. And I believe, I might be wrong. I believe he can be traded. He can't be traded for the next few months, but I believe he can be traded by the trade deadline. I think.
I believe so as well. Yeah.
So that look, no disrespect to Kyle Kuzma, but when I saw that, all I thought was, oh, okay, that's their one chip for them to be able to make some kind of change.
Yes and no, dude. I'm sick of the fucking LA media overrating Kuz's value like they did last year when they were like Kuzma for Bogdanovich.
Oh,
I was like, shut the fuck up, LA. Stop doing this shit.
That's true, but at the same time, we've seen guys like this. Someone might fall in love with Kyle Kuzma. You know what I mean? And especially if somebody has a guy who really wants to get out of there. And I don't think the Lakers have any more, if they can trade any first round picks.
There was talks that the Knicks wanted him. I don't fucking want him.
No, I don't want him either. Absolutely not. But anyway, good for Kuzma if he sticks around. Yeah. But I think a lot of this was, it's smart on the Lakers too, because you look at, we went through free agency on last week's Patreon, I believe, or maybe the free episode, where after Giannis is locked up, it's like, and Paul George is locked up,
get boring.
and everyone's like, it's like there's no free agents, so it's kind of smart to lock these guys up now. Even Gobert for that. I mean, he got a little more than the regular max, not the full super max, but Gobert on the open market would have gotten the full max from somebody. Somebody might have overpaid Kuzma.
Yeah, no, someone I think would have overpaid Kuz. I think,
but that's what I'm saying. It's smart for teams to do it now.
I think Kuz is also. I was kind of surprised he took this little money because I'm like, all right, do you just want to stay in LA?
I think he wants to stay. Yeah, of course he does. What you just said, he's over. He's thought of more, more generously because of where he plays. And look, he's a fucking cute kid. He wants to model. He's out there fucking handsome. Instagram models. I'm
not gonna act like he's not handsome.
He's having the time of his life.
Kelly Oubre. But he's a handsome man.
I don't know. Ooh, that's interesting.
Are you kidding me?
I like this is like our women and our men. I like a little thick or something. It sounds like you like the catwalk with Kelly Oubre over there.
Kelly Oubre's Hansel from Zoolander, man. You get a walk off going here.
I don't know. I like a cuter guy. You like a fucking a hotter guy. I think Kuzma's got those cute little cheeks, dude. But he's got
is much better than Kuzma. Don't even fucking play.
Look, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Oh, as a player or as a sexual conquest?
Both.
Yeah, I'd rather have Oubre on my team, but I might suck off Kuzma before I suck off Oubre.
Oubre on my team or my penis. Oubre for life, dude. I'm straight, but I'm Oubre gay. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. You're Oubre curious, at least. So anyway, I think it's smart to lock up guys. And if you're Kuzma, like here's other guys. I think the Raptors should fucking lock up OG Anunoby right now.
Yeah.
Because like we said, the free agency class is weak as fuck. And he would probably get paid big time, but
we'll see. That the Raptors just lost. We'll get into it, but the Raptors are going to be a different look team next year. I'm kind of.
Well, let's get into it. How about that? Let's get right into our season preview. And guys, we're going to do things a little different. Last year we did over unders, which produced some hilarious results. If you listen to our Patreon, probably my favorite episode of the show we've done. We listened back to our old season preview from last year and made ourselves listen to the pod. Don't lie if you haven't already. But this year, because we're stupid and our brains couldn't quite handle what over-unders meant in a 72-game context.
Yeah, but also, I feel like the listeners as well. I feel like it would have been hard to grasp. I think
it's just a little harder. This is easier. Yeah. I think it would have been we could have probably done some pretty easy math, which is like done the equivalent, but we didn't want to do it because fuck that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rank where we're going to take each conference and we're each going to say who we think our number one.
And how do you want to do it, back and forth, or do you want to go 1 through 8? How do we do this?
Let's go 1 through 8, bro. Let's start at 1, and then we can trade off who goes first. But naturally, there will be some disagreements, and naturally, we'll have to make our cases. So, do you want me to start, or do you want?
Yeah. Why don't you? Let's start with the West because we started.
You want to start West? All right.
We started. Well, I mean, if you object, I'm happy to.
No. That's whatever you want, baby.
Let's start West and let's go. Let's do this.
I got a little spicier in the West. Well,
then let's dance.
My number 1 seed in the West, the LA Clippers, is who I think is going to have the best season. And here's my rationale. I think they have a lot to fucking prove. I think Paul George was completely embarrassed. I think Kawhi is getting a lot of like the leadership critiques. I think, Ty Lue has a lot to prove for that matter. Like, there's a lot. These guys were just embarrassed. They're really fucking good. They have the talent. They just never put it together. I think they're actually going to try and cruise through this season and like bounce back from the adversity, because I do think for as much as I enjoyed Kawhi falling short a little bit because everyone was sucking him off a little too much, I do think he will bounce back here because I don't think he's going to cut. Like, this is not like his past situations. I think he's there to stay. He likes this franchise lets him go live in San Diego. He doesn't want to go. He's not going to go play, He's not going to leave next year. So I think this is going to be a bounce back year, and I think they have something to prove in the way the Lakers do not. And I think that they're going to try harder in the regular season, if only to get the kind of chemistry that they were obviously lacking last year. So that's why I think they're going to be the number one seed.
I think you make a good point. I put the Lakers 1, and here's why. I think the Clippers, I have 2 right now.
And I can see the Lakers. Don't get me wrong. There's absolutely a situation where the Lakers still do it, because you look at their free agent pickups. They almost had another team that's not even going to play that much in the playoffs. Montrez is going to get so many minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
but my thing is, LeBron doesn't do load management like Kawhi does. Even in a contract year, I think Kawhi is going to kind of chill to the playoffs. Thing is, the team is good enough that they can get away with it. So right now, yeah, I have them number 2. My thoughts with the Lakers being LeBron's going to play. He's not going to like sit out. He never really sits out. He may not go the whole game, but their team is good enough that he doesn't have to. AD is going to play big minutes still. Montrez is going to play big minutes. They have a lot of different matchups they can throw at you. The Marcus Gasol edition I love. Schroeder and Montrez off the bench, you know.
Little poor man's Lou Williams over there offensively.
I don't even think he's that poor. I think he's basically, you know.
Well, I think Lou's a better offensive player, but
he is,
but Schroeder's a better player overall.
Yeah. I think he's going to have a big year. Those are the 2 reigning 6 men, basically, the 2 guys. So Kuzma is going to, you know, be a nice option. You got Caldwell Pope, Matthews, Caruso, a lot of depth. I think Vogel's big problem is figuring out rotation. So once he figures that out, I think they're going to be, and also Talon, Horter, Tucker.
Yeah, they got the young guys. Caruso's going to play. Yeah, they're going to, they have some guys. I just think, I know what you're saying about LeBron doesn't do load management. I think this is a strange year, and I think he's kind of been on the record about doing load management. I think we're going to see LeBron sit out more games
could be
than
right.
you've seen.
This is, I mean, look, I don't know who you put second. I'm assuming it's the Lakers.
Well, second, I put the fucking Nuggets, dude.
Wow,
I put the Nuggets. I don't know. I'm just, and look, I'm getting okay. This is what.
Actually, I did not. But you know what? They are third to me, though.
Well, it's better if you didn't. Whatever, it's fine.
Okay.
And guys, to explain,
I'll put them back.
Guys, to explain, this season has been truncated. Even the like research that, it's hard to believe, but I actually do research when we do shit like this. Mm-hmm. But there hasn't been that much stuff written yet, because it's probably going to come out around the same time we put this out, because we went right from the draft to offseason. There hasn't been like the weeks and weeks of like stats and shit to look up. So this is like going from the fucking heart. And this is from finding a fun narrative. A lot of this is just like what I believe, absolutely backed up by no research whatsoever. So that's what you need to understand here. But I don't know, man. I think that, and you know what, maybe that the caller that roasted you last time, he believed in his team so much that it imparted something on me. But the Nuggets,
I love the Nuggets. I think I'm struggling with them 3 or 4.
They try. Okay, this is a year where it's weird again, right? Where I think continuity is really going to help people. Where I think like
I agree. I disagree with that.
Well, I think continuity and youth is going to help people, and I think the Nuggets are the youngest team with this kind of continuity, where it's like they've been playing together forever. I think, you know, there is some problems with depth with like MPJ. There's only one ball, but again, this is a kind of season where somebody might get fucking coronavirus. You might need to get people, you know, some people might just get injured.
Like a Knicks fan. These are my
No. What I'm saying, I'm saying it's you're more likely to get injured, and you're more likely to have to sit out if you get either injured or sick, right? So having a deep team, and look, obviously they lose Grant, which is a big loss, but at the same time,
big loss.
He didn't
for both
start
of them,
for them.
He didn't start, but he played much more minutes than Millsap, especially in the playoffs. I mean, he's a dangerous guy, and he fit that team so well, and he just doesn't fit on Detroit.
It was a fucking dumb move. But at the same time,
they lost Plumlee as well. They've lost some depth at the big.
They lost a little depth, but I do think that this Jamal Murray is poised to take a step up. Michael Porter Jr. is poised to take a step up. I believe in Murray. I believe in Jokic. Jokic is one of my favorite players in the league, and I believe in him. And also they are a tough team that plays hard as fuck no matter what's going on. And I think they still have stuff to prove. They don't have I actually think might even go harder than the Clippers, where it's like Denver is still trying to prove themselves. They want to get to the finals.
you're
They
right.
want to say Jamal Murray wants to be like, the bubble was not a mirage. I'm fucking here. So I think
totally get that.
I'm again, from the heart. This is what you want to see. I like the Denver Nuggets. I like these guys. They're a fun team. They have continuity. That's my take on for why.
Well, I think that's a great
high.
pick. I actually had them originally third. I moved them up to fourth right before the podcast. My third might be kind of a wild card, but you're talking about the bubble, and I'm talking about heat from the bubble and translating that heat to the regular season. They added depth. I'm going with the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh, wow. You fucking overdid me. I thought I was going to be the asshole who had him too high. I had him 4. You have them all the way 3. So
Here's why I have them 3.
3, I had the Lakers, by the way. We've discussed it. It's fine, but yeah.
Okay. Here's why I picked them where I picked them. They looked so good in the bubble. Dame is a great leader. I think Dame has an MVP caliber season again. What he was doing in the bubble,
I agree.
was absurd. I think he's top 5 MVP again, no question. I have him 3, I think, right now. But I think McCollum has a big year again. I think they have a healthy Nurkic, hopefully, to start the season. They have Harry Giles, who looked incredible.
He looked pretty good. They have some depth at the bigs. They have
a lot of depth. Their only problem is
they don't have depth
point guard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is going to be a problem.
Which is a problem, I think.
It's absolutely a problem. CJ is going to have to play minutes handling the ball. And then I think Melo is going to be a dark horse for 6th man of the year. I really believe it.
Oh, I love it.
Did you see him in preseason? He looks fucking...
Yes.
I was expecting, really?
I haven't added really to the soundboard yet, but we'll get it soon.
I like Portland. I like what they're doing. They added Cantor as well again back. Here's my logic. I don't know if they're a better team than the Nuggets. The Nuggets look so good, but my thing is 2 years ago, they beat the Nuggets in 7 when they had depth. And granted, Murray hadn't taken a leap yet, and that was a 7-game series. But I think
Michael Porter Jr. had a broken back in Missouri at the time as well.
All right, fair enough. A good point. I think the Nuggets are possibly a better postseason team.
I
think
love
the Blazers.
What you're doing.
I love the Blazers for the regular season because defensively they're not that good, but I think they're going to shoot teams out of the fucking gym.
Yeah. I think that I absolutely I
love the addition of Robert Covington.
I love that you drank more Kool-Aid on the fucking. I thought for sure because I was looking at Portland, I was like, damn, do I really have him above Utah and Dallas and all? And you're saying you have him above the Nuggets? I don't see that.
I have a good reason. Well, look, for the we're talking about regular season.
Regular season.
The playoffs. Okay, for the playoffs, I would take the Nuggets. I think.
No, we don't. We're talking regular season now.
Okay.
That's fine. I agree with everything you're saying. I just measure it a little more where it's like, at the same time, this is real. We talk about this as being this depends on Dame a lot. Dame cannot get injured. Dame can't miss 2 weeks.
Okay, they also added Derek Jones Jr., who looked great in the preseason.
He did. He looked good.
Whose length just kind of works for them. They get a healthy Zach Collins back. They've got Gary Trent Jr. They've got Rodney Hood back. This is a deep team, dude.
It is, but I will also say your Melo take is kind of something that worries me too. I love Melo. I don't think he should be playing that much. I don't think he should be getting Derek Jones Jr. or Gary Trent's minutes. I think he needs to be like 7th or 8th in the rotation. Or 9th, even depending on what's going on.
Don't you fucking? I mean, he just accepted the bench. You don't fucking.
Okay. What do you want me? I just accepted a girl leaving me on red. It's like, oh, you bet now. You ignored me once. You better fucking next time. You better suck my dick. It's like it doesn't matter what Melo wants. I'm talking about the reality of where he is as a player.
He looked pretty good in the preseason. I mean, he had some moments for sure. So let's.
I love Melo, but I don't think
I could be wrong.
I worry about him closing games for that team. That's all I'm saying. I think he could come in and have a lot of good second unit moments, but it's like he's a problem defensively and. I don't know. I would rather have Gary Trent Jr. and Derek Jones Jr. out there than Melo.
Let's see how they divvy up. Again, we talk about coaches like Frank Vogel who have hard jobs in divvying up minutes.
Like if Melo is out there,
tough rotation to crack.
Like, okay, here's the thing. Let's say honestly, if you're telling me if the lineup is Dame, CJ, Trent, Derek Jones, and Nurk. My only problem with that lineup is, well, maybe they don't really have a guy that can guard a big wing, right? That's not Melo. Melo's not guarding fucking Paul
Covington.
George. He's not. Oh, I'm sorry, Covington. My bad. Fuck, I forgot. So okay, so we take out either Trent or that's what I'm saying. See, dude, like I've totally forgot even Covington existed, and I wanted Melo on the bench. Like Melo just doesn't. I would just rather have either Gary Trent or Derrick Jones Jr. for defense or offense over Melo. I just would at this point in his career.
It's possible. I'm just saying he's a dark horse. I'm not saying he's my
But
pick.
it just worries me a little for
It
Portland.
worries me too, but I think they are built to be like a regular season juggernaut. And you get a healthy Nurkic in there. I mean, they've got depth at the big. You got Zach Collins.
They got a lot of depth at the big.
I mean,
a lot of depth at the big.
Cantor. They're going to have to trade for a better backup point guard. I think they will, and I think this will be an interesting team in the West.
Yeah. So I love that we're both drinking the Kool-Aid. I have the Lakers third only because I see them taking it easy. That's it. That's really the only reason I see I see that happening. I see them, and it's interesting because if it wasn't such a shortened season, like I think a big reason LeBron was, I think a big reason LeBron didn't want to play on Christmas is because I think if he had adequate rest, he would have tried to win MVP this year. That's kind of my like little theory where it's like he has the momentum. He was just finals MVP. He has the like, I can't believe I didn't get enough, first place votes. This would have been a real narrative, like one last MVP for the King thing. And maybe he tries that anyway. I don't know. It seems like he's going to take it very easy. But I'm betting on him taking it easy and knowing ultimately his path to like, he's not playing for anything other than beating Jordan. Let's be honest, right? Yeah. So what's really important at this point is not maybe regular the scoring season
record as well.
Maybe scoring record, but I think that's just longevity, and that's a different battle. I think he understands it's rings over everything for him right now, and what getting 5 would be like. Yeah. I think if you get 5 with his resume and his longevity, you don't even need the 6th one. But so anyway,
it'd be nice.
It'd be nice, but I think so that's my take, and I had Portland 4th for all the reasons that you said. We don't have to. Who
do you have in the 5 spot?
5 spot, I have the Utah Jazz.
That's a good pick.
I have the Jazz because, and obviously this came down a little bit to Jazz Mavs for me. But
same here. We got opposite orders though.
So for me, the reason I take Utah over the Mavericks is because I think again, it's a little bit of continuity. I think they were missing Bogdanovich, which is huge that they were missing Bogdanovich during the bubble. We forget that team that you saw that, goes up 3-1 on the Nuggets was missing one of their best scorers. And Conley's coming up, and Conley's was looking really good by the playoffs.
Contract year for Conley.
Contract year, finally feels comfortable within that system, I think. So, and continuity and a little bit more depth. I think getting Derek Favors is actually sneaky big for them because their defense sucked cock when Gobert was off the bench.
Right.
And so they have Favors. They're not going to play them together like they used to, but to get Favors in there to just kind of have a really serviceable defensive center in there when Gobert isn't there allows them to still kind of play their game even without Gobert on the court. And, they lock up Clarkson, who, I'm not the biggest Jordan Clarkson guy, but second unit scorer type. And so getting more depth back, getting their guys back, signing these guys to long-term deals. I mean, I like them so much that if I wasn't picking with my heart, I might even put them over Portland. No. But I just think the Jazz are going to be good, and I could see them being top 4 easy. I could see them being top 4 easy.
How good the West is. Where these are such.
And exactly
differences.
Totally.
I picked Dallas ahead of Utah only because I think Luka's going to have an MVP season. So I think Luka's going to be that good that it's going to make all the difference. KP is out till January. If that's true, if he's still injured, then I think Utah probably does better. But you only go 1 month without KP. They added Richardson. I think they're going to be an interesting team. I do think KP back to be. I mean, you saw them suffer how much Luka has to do.
Of course.
But for some reason, I still think they're going to be dangerous. So I had them and then the Jazz.
See, I just think it's going to be And look, this obviously the most important thing you can have in this league is top tier superstar talent. And if Luka somehow gets even better, which is crazy to think about because he was first team All NBA last year. If he
But
get
will.
if
He
he
will
gets
get better.
but by how much? Because at this point, I think what's more important is to surround him around with better players. And I think the Richardson fit is really good. And I think he's a long-term fit in my opinion, because I think him and Al Horford were just in a bad situation in Philly that depreciated their value. I think Richardson is going to I think it's going to, we
I
talked
can't
about it
believe they got a
before.
pick out of that too. That shocked me. I think Seth
Well,
Curry
yeah.
is nice, but
No, I think that's crazy as well. That's what I was going to say. I think long term, you're going to see, especially with him next to Luka, who gets him open as fuck. He's gonna. He wasn't a bad shooter. He was a solid shooter. He wasn't 40%. I think he was like 38 or 39. Again,
yeah.
we didn't do our research this time around, but I believe he was better than you think. And when you have Luka fucking finding you, his percentages are gonna increase. Even more.
Yeah.
But I think more, and I like the route they're on, and they have cap space, and Giannis being gone means that they can make deals for the future. But having said that, they kept their powder dry because they were thinking about Giannis. So they didn't really improve their team that much for this year. KP is out at least until at least January, but I've heard even February sometimes.
If that's the case, then they're gonna have a problem.
And he's just injury prone. And Luka's conditioning has never been his thing. So in a shortened season, is it going to be too much on his body, especially with the increased load?
Even further up, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I just think he's going to have an MVP year and is going to be unstoppable. And
sure.
He does also bring the most out of all his teammates. See, clearly.
Certainly. But at the same time, so I think they are a cut above the teams that we're going to go over next.
Well, this is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets very interesting.
So now this is our 7 and 8. Who do you have at 7?
I think they're a cut above those teams, but I also think, just for all the reasons I said, I think they're a year away from serious contention. But I do think next year they'll go from. I think next year they might be they'll be a 1 seed potentially. Like that's how much I believe in Luka. If Porzingis is healthy and if you have another year with the team gelling. But anyway.
Who do you have at the 7th spot?
So this is where it really gets fucking tough because you just don't know what to do. There's so much going on. And ultimately, bro, I sipped. You want to talk about sipping Kool-Aid? I'm sipping the Phoenix Kool-Aid, man.
Me too.
I got Phoenix at 7.
I could see them going 6 or 5 even.
Yeah, I can see them going. Sure, the way the things
Chris
play
Paul
out.
Effect, the Devin Booker leap again. We'll see.
Yeah. Ayton as well. Ayton looked much better. I'm eating my words.
You're eating your fucking words. Sam Stradamus called the
Sam Stradamus. All right, let's take it easy, Sam Stradamus. Don't make me replay the Patreon. But I just think when you look at the other teams, and also, again, this is from the heart. If I can be a hater towards the Warriors, I'm going to be a fucking hater towards the Warriors.
Okay, this will be interesting here.
So I just think Phoenix has the talent and they have something organizationally to prove. I think Monty's a good fucking coach. I think Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul was. Yeah.
I think he's going to be in consideration for Coach of the Year.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, it really just comes down to that. I think Devin Booker and Chris Paul. You have real star power. Ayton. If Ayton makes
Bridges,
Mikal Bridges,
added Jay Crowder, I like them a lot.
Cam Johnson's good. I like, Jay Crowder's the one that worries me because it's almost like that fucking guy. It's every other team. He's good. Like he was trash on the Grizzlies. He's great on the Heat. You know what I mean? It's like, he's good on the Celtics. He's bad on the Cavs. It's like, like are the Suns due and he got so hot when in that Bucks series that people think he's like some kind of 42% 3-point shooter when he was just hot and he was fucking dog shit the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
From the field.
You're right. But he's a great defender and he's
a good pickup. Don't get me wrong. For that money, he was the best wing available in the mid-level. Sure. And I think a lot of teams should have tried to get him.
And I just think they'll be interesting. They re-signed Saric. I mean, let's see what they do. They'll be I think they'll be fun. They'll be a fun league pass team. Who do you have at the? They who do you have 7. 8?
Who do you have 8?
You're gonna hate me.
No, I'm not.
This was the toughest one.
Yeah,
it's for obviously it's between the Rockets and the Warriors for me. And
Well,
and
yeah.
I got the Pelicans just looking out again. So I went with the Warriors only because of the toxic situation in Houston and because I don't think Harden's going to be there. So,
yeah, I don't fault you for that because I'm the same way. I don't have the Rockets. I just assume Harden's not going to be there.
but if he's
and
there, they're in the playoffs because that's not a bad team.
if he's there, that's their spot at least, in my opinion. If he's
But
there,
then the Warriors are not bad. If you get a healthy Draymond and a motivated Draymond with Steph Curry and Wiggins, who I think takes a leap this year, and Oubre, who I think is going to be very good, I think they're kind of – Pascal looks really nice off the bench. He's like a tough player. I think the Warriors are the 8th spot, but I think the Rockets right now, if they keep Harden and he's not acting like a diva, I think are a better team because you got PJ and you got Gordon and, John Wall, if he's playing, healthy and a healthy cousin.
Christian Wood too.
Christian Wood, yeah. So
with Harden, I think this is their spot, but I don't think Harden's going to be there.
Agreed.
And
So I have the Warriors there.
Yeah, I mean,
don't tell me you picked the Pels.
No, I think with let's assume Harden's gone. I guess I'll put the Warriors there.
Yeah, you got it.
But what's interesting is part of me is like, what about San Antonio? Like everyone's talking about the Pelicans. Everyone's talking about even a little bit Minnesota. Not really, but
because coaching is great, but talent on the floor is more important, and you can't tell me anyone would take the Spurs roster over the Pelicans.
No. You're right.
All-star in Brandon Ingram, a Zion Williamson, who might be my pick for most improved.
That's bullshit. You can't do that. He's a fucking second-year player, and he was injured half the fucking year.
That's why it's a good story.
It's a bullshit, dude.
It's a feel-good story.
If a second-year player was going to do it, which would have been Luka this year, he was first-team All-NBA. He was a real MVP contender for the beginning of the year. You can't give it to it.
MVP contender when you're outside of the playoffs. So he's going to be an MIP contender.
I just think you can't give it to a second-year player because that's ridiculous. Second-year players just get better. They all should. Every year.
You heard the term sophomore slump? That's not true. A lot of second-year players fall off.
I don't know, man. I think for the vast majority of second-year players get better.
We both have the Pelicans out. Obviously, I have the Wolves out. I have a lot of these teams that I think are going to be fun to watch, but just aren't going to be good.
Well, you don't have the Pelicans out if you have them at 8.
No, I have them at 9. I have the Warriors at 8.
No, hold on. Oh yeah, you're right. 2, 3. Damn, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I think that's reasonable. Is there anyone
New Orleans
else?
at 9? Yeah.
Is there anyone who you think's an honorable mention who's just missing it, or do you
I mean, again, Houston, we just kind of don't know what the fuck's happening. Houston without Harden could be not the 10 seed, maybe.
I mean, they're not going to be bad. I mean, they're kind of a fun team to watch. Weirdly.
It depends what they get back. It's
I think
tough.
The Grizzlies you have to give some love to just because of Ja Morant.
Yeah, I would put the Grizzlies. I would put the Grizzlies at 10.
Yeah,
New Orleans at 9.
Sorry to your Sacramento Kings.
Sorry to Minnesota too. I mean, Minnesota. I think Minnesota is going to try really hard to get that 10 seed and be like, we made the play-in, but I just don't see it.
We had a lot of overlap. I don't think we're going to have the same overlap in the East, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I want to hear. So
I think Minnesota. So then at the end, and listen, I have the Kings second to last. OKC is obviously going to be last in the West. I mean, I think that's their plan.
But it's fucking crazy that you watch them play and you're like, they're kind of good. For a bad team, they have good players.
If I were the Kings, and the reason, and I'm picking again from the heart, I want the Kings to be bad because I want them to fucking realize, keep Swiper, but it's like the rest of the team can fucking go kick rocks.
I gotta say, man, I just don't think that was a good. I know you have to sign him, but
you have to do it.
It's just
and you have to hope he grows into it.
I just hate this grow into a fucking max.
Well, it happened with Murray. Simmons got the same max. I mean, the fuck.
Right. I'd love to be wrong.
I mean, you just have to do it. Or what's a
lie? I hate being wrong.
What's the other option though? If you're the Kings, you fucking let him go.
No other option. And I'll say this: Buddy Hield looks fucking good.
Yeah, if I'm the Kings, I trade Buddy Hield this year and get shit back.
I'll take Buddy Hield.
Absolutely.
Buddy Hield for Julius. Who says no?
But that's what I'm saying. If I'm the Kings, I just try and tank, and it's a good fucking draft, man. And like, just you got your guy locked up. Let him know that this is the plan. We're gonna get younger. We're gonna trade Hield for guys younger, and and you hope that the center, the power forward that they fucking drafted over Luka, Bagley. You hope Bagley just is not hurt for a year, but I don't know. So that's how I see the West playing out. We did have some nice overlap.
So I think we're pretty much on the same page. What do you got for the East? Who's your 1 seed?
For the East, the fucking Milwaukee Bucks, baby. They got fucking Giannis back. This is a regular season juggernaut. Giannis is locked the fuck in. I just don't see them taking a step back, at least not in the fucking regular season. I just don't see it. And again, continuity is important. I know they traded and got Drew, but it's an upgrade, and I don't know. I just think Giannis is so, their embarrassment in the playoffs obscures how fucking good Giannis is, especially in the regular season.
Right.
Like, I think he's going to deserve MVP, but not get it because people don't want to give somebody MVP 3 times in a row. But I think he's going to actually be the MVP again because he just provides so much value to that fucking team night in, night out.
On both ends of the court. It's a good point. I do think I have them 2 right now.
Okay, who do you got number 1?
And it's a shock the world pick. But
I know exactly what's going to be. Go ahead, though.
I have them number 2, and I'll get into it in a second. But number 1, the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
because
that.
I'm sorry, everyone's like, they're going to take a while. No, they're not. Durant is that good. Kyrie is that good. DeAndre Jordan looks like just good enough. Like, he's going to get you boards. He's going to play tough. He's going to get blocks. Jared Allen looks very good. Karis LeVert, healthy. They're deep as fuck. Joe Harris will shoot the lights out. They added Henry Shamet. I hate giving them this much credit, but I have to. KD is going to be an MVP candidate because he's that good and he's got a fucking chip on his shoulder. Like, this dude lives. This guy looks through internet comments for fuel. Yeah. You think he's not furious? So Kyrie might be out of his mind burning sage and shit. But guess what? KD is like, I accept this shit. I like, you heard him in interviews. That's what he does, And it's like, all right, that's what Kyrie needs.
No, you're right.
He's like rolling his eyes like that's he needs KD being like, yeah, sometimes motherfuckers burn sage. That's
right. That's true. You're right. KD and Kyrie are like an OnlyFans girl who's dating like a guy in like stain resistant Dockers. You know what I mean? Who's just like, he's just like, wow, I love what you're doing, honey. Great anal gape video. She's great. She's the best. He just, they're like an insane. By the way, woman.
I didn't even mention Spencer Dinwiddie. That's how fucking
Dinwiddie, LeVert. Yeah.
They're very, very good.
So I've been back and forth on Brooklyn this whole offseason.
I hate it.
I've been back and forth. 1 week I'm like, it's going to blow up, but seeing KD live, and you know what? The saging, I was like, you know what? I'm in. It won me over. It's fucking batshit. And the other thing was, we know about Steve Nash theoretically, they do the hire, but you watch those games and you see Nash and you see D'Antoni, and I'm instantly thinking I'm back to college and I'm back to the Suns getting fucked by the league and Amari getting suspended.
And Amari's there too.
I can't in my heart root against D'Antoni, Nash, and Amari. I can't do it.
I can't. And you know what else? Amari dunking in layup lines with the team. Name another coach who's dunking,
I know, dude.
Who's still fucking dunking.
I just can't. It's so annoying. And you know what? Kyrie just doing media after the team being like, come on, man, this is too much. He's like, he relented and he did it. I'm with you. I don't have them one.
Now,
I have the Bucks one.
They're just that good. Like, even without when you talk about continuity earlier, I'm like, I'm with you. Unless the talent is that
unless the talent is one of the top 15 players of all time. You know what I mean? Coming back from a
and
fucking.
You gotta give Kyrie, just watching him, you're like, this dude is healthy. He's the most fucking exciting player of maybe the last 15 years. Like, dude, Kyrie just fucking dicing dudes.
Yeah,
it's like a street ball player who wins.
I know. And I just, like I said, I cannot root against Steve Nash, bro. Steve Nash.
No,
I
they're
can't root
looking
against my
so
sons,
good.
bro. Because
Also,
it's
just
like the
get the
teams.
ball to KD, a face up every time it's going in.
I know the teams that defined me because I was a basketball. I'm a basketball gypsy in my heart. Really, like I'm a Knicks
Yeah.
fan. It's my home base. I'm not leaving New York. But the teams that defined me were the Kings and then the Suns. 7 seconds or less. Like those were the teams that I was
Yeah.
like jumping. And then it's like wherever Giannis played, I was in on. And then for a couple years, I was in the wilderness. I really liked the Melo Knicks. But the Suns were as important to me as the Kings, and people have heard my weird when the Kings have a player I like, I'm all in, and it's hard for me not to follow the actual team as a coaching staff now.
Totally.
And that's why I put them
Are they your
two.
two? Yeah,
They
well, I put the
them
Bucks
two.
too, and my only reasoning was I think the Bucks will be great again. I think Giannis is going to go hard again, but possibly slightly less hard to save a little for the playoffs. I mean, he did get injured in the playoffs, and
And I can see that because the regular season doesn't matter to them as much anymore. It just doesn't.
Because look, how many 1 seeds and MVPs do you need? He's in this for a ring at this point.
Totally.
So I have them too. And for those reasons, I think Drew Holiday is going to be excellent. I think they fucked up royally with Bogdanovich, and that's going to hurt them. But
I can't even talk about it.
I mean, hopefully they still are an interesting team. My 3 is the Miami Heat. Unsurprising.
Okay. Well, give me your rationale for them.
We talk about continuity. They're
Yeah.
They're so good. They're well coached. I think they're good enough to still to know the importance of home court, even with these virtual fans. I think it still makes a difference. And then I think Bam takes another leap. I think Tyler Hero takes another leap. I just think they're going to stay competitive.
I'm with you.
Who do you have?
Well, here's what the other thing I'll say about Brooklyn real fast is they have the best presentation I've seen so far because they have the same video boards that they had in Orlando. Some of the other teams need to get on that shit, dude. I find myself I'm going to be watching Nets homes games just because I like their visual setup. It looks better. But here's where I start getting a little kooky. I even flirted with having them too. Here's the Kool-Aid I'm drinking this year, Sammy. Philadelphia 76ers at the 3 spot. I like these guys. I like Ben. I love Joel and Daryl Morey going in there. And he just did the fucking simple thing. The simple thing was put a team that works around them. Al Horford and I think Josh Richardson actually would have made sense. I think the Tobias signing is what really fucking killed that team more than anything because he's a good player, but he's getting paid. He's getting paid almost Rudy Gobert money. You know what I mean? So, but
I have them 4. I mean, that's a understandable.
Wow, we're really close.
We're really close. I had them 4 because I agree. I love that Morey added all this shooting. I mean, I think I can't believe they had to give up a first rounder to get Seth Curry, but guess what? He's a great
what?
shooter.
They're 2. Fuck it. I'm putting them 2. I'm putting them
Wow.
2. I believe in this fucking team, and they have something to prove. And I think
I have them 4 still, but
I just got to do it because we're too close. We're too close together, and I need to have a little something.
I just
going.
think I think they'll be very good. I think durability is always a concern with that team, and you have to take that into account. I think and you say the same for the Brooklyn Nets, but I just think if Kyrie's out for a few games,
definitely say the same.
Okay,
about the
but
Brooklyn Nets.
yeah, but guess what? Kyrie's out for a few games. Dinwiddie steps in. They still win games.
You're right. That's true.
Great,
That's true.
Great team player. I think Simmons is an injury concern still. So is Embiid. His durability has been a question. His fitness has been a question. He's healthy. He might be the best big.
Yeah.
After AD. I mean, I still take Jokic, but we haven't really seen Embiid at the height of his powers. And the height of his powers, he's unstoppable. And okay, fine. Giannis, if you consider him a big too, is obviously ahead. But
he's not exact. I mean, he is a big, but yeah.
So I have him 4. I think the Danny Green signing was very smart. I think the Dwight Howard signing is going to be great for them. I think they're going to be a very good team.
I just gotta believe in something, baby. I might even bet some. I might even put some money, just something that little juice on the games. And I just like that team, and I hope it works.
Similar bet for lunch.
Yeah, we got to find the bet for lunch on something for sure.
We'll figure it out. Okay, so it might be the bet for Seamless. I might just have to order you food.
Yeah, nah, we'll be having lunch at some point, maybe.
Lunch soon. Okay, so I got them 4. So who's your 4?
I have Miami 4. We're not really deviating much.
Okay.
A lot of the reasons you're saying, and it really comes down to, do you believe in that team more than Boston or Toronto? And I do.
I do too. Okay, well, I hate to give it to him. I get Boston 5.
Ugh. You know what? Fuck it.
I just think Boston's got more talent. I think
They
Toronto.
do. I think it's going to be a down year for Toronto. We're the same. This sucks. I think we're going to have a little bit more disagreement.
I think Boston, Tatum takes another leap. Brown takes another leap. You got Kemba out for a while, which hurts him. But I do think, their big problem is that we've talked about on the Patreon, they didn't upgrade enough at the big. I think Thompson is like a solid rebounder. I like Tice, whatever, but
I don't think they did. I think Thompson's a fine upgrade. I think it's that they use their upgrade on the bigs and not at the wing or the ball handling spot, especially with Kemba
they
Walker
have great
being
wings,
hurt.
though.
Yeah, but you didn't
Tatum
replace.
And Brown are great wings. They're both.
You didn't replace. What's their wing depth? You don't replace them. You don't replace Gordon Hayward at all.
You lost Wanamaker. You lost a lot of guys.
You lost Wanamaker for nothing. Yeah. I mean, he had a cheap contract with.
And
the
guess
Warriors.
where he is? Golden
Warriors,
State.
Yeah,
Golden State's got some depth at the wing. Unfortunately, they got no Klay Thompson, but they've got some good wing players.
All
right. So
part of me wants to just put Toronto over them because. To think the goal with Toronto is always think where you think they're going to end up and then push them up a couple spots because they always overachieve. Fuck it.
They lost Ibaka and Gasol, who I know Gasol wasn't playing huge minutes.
You know what, man? Fuck it. I'm doing another one just to get spicy. Toronto over Boston.
Okay. I don't think that's crazy. I just think that Boston's a better team.
I think it is because the other thing to realize, I just can't, in my heart, I can't give anything to Boston, but as stupid as they were, in my opinion, not to take the center from Indy, not to take Turner for Gordon Hayward in a sign-in trade, at the very least, they do have a huge trade exception so technically they structured the Charlotte deal. They didn't lose him. I think either they traded or I think they gave Charlotte a second-round pick, or I don't know exactly how it went, or Charlotte gave them a second-round pick so that Boston would have this humongous, like $27 million trade exception, and they can use that in pieces. So it doesn't just have to be one star, because they probably don't have although they have the stuff to get a star if they want to. So they have all this caps. They have a huge trade exception, and they have some stuff that you can trade.
We'll see.
They have picks. They have Robert Williams. They could even, if they were getting a star, put Smart or Brown in there. So I think Boston might upgrade.
I think Marcus Smart is so essential in the playoffs. I think what that guy does is so underappreciated.
That's true. He's also up for. I think he's up for an extension, and they haven't signed one yet.
You know what? I would kill for a guy like that on the Knicks.
We've talked about it.
I love Marcus Smart. I think he's terrific.
So I do look. The money is on Boston being better, and my pessimism for Toronto is, like you said, they lose both their bigs and they replace it with Aaron Baines. He's a fine player. He's not as good as Serge Ibaka and
but
Gasol.
Baines is very good. But Ibaka,
Ibaka's getting two old. Centers.
Ibaka's getting old. He's not as physical as he once was. He once was an elite 4-block a game rim protector. Now he's kind of more of a 3-and-D type guy. I mean, he's
good. He's really good.
So who do you have?
But I will also I'll also say, just to talk about Toronto real quickly, is that so that's the source for pessimism, but the source for optimism is OG. This has always been this is really the new Spurs. I've said it. We've said that time and time again. It's Masai Ujiri has turned that into a real organization, like one of the best organizations. Nick Nurse is arguably the best coach, coming off Coach of the Year. And OG Anunoby could take a step up. Chris Boucher could take a step up. Yeah. Just to if we're talking about filling in that void of what they lost.
Are they're not at home. They're the only team that's not at home, right?
True. That's true.
That's big.
So it's big. It's big. And, Kyle Lowry's older, even though it is a contract year. So he'll probably be playing his little titties off. But so that's, even though theoretically, and look, Boston might end up better than Philly. Toronto might end up better than Philly. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to shoot Toronto up and say, fuck Boston. I don't think
anything we're saying is crazy. I put Boston ahead. So who's your 7?
Indianapolis.
Ooh,
I just have them there. Just, even though I don't believe in this team, I don't think.
You think they're better than Atlanta?
I just think, again, continuity in a weird season. And I think if they hadn't lost Nate McMillan, they might even be able to be a seed higher. I just think getting a new coach, you still have that log jam at center. You have Oladipo being weird, so who knows if he even plays well. But it is a contract year, so he's going to be trying, but there might be some problems in the locker room. But I just think they have talent and continuity.
Who's their small forward? TJ Warren still?
TJ Warren.
They have a good team. I mean, they've got
It's a good team
at the 4 and Turner at the 5.
If Oladipo is like, all-star Oladipo, they could be a fucking top 4 seed. I mean, really, it's crazy to say that.
You're totally right. I also think, yeah.
And so if it comes down to them or Atlanta at this spot, I just think, I mean, look, I know Trae Young's great, but he's the worst defensive player in the NBA, and they added all these pieces. It doesn't quite fit together. Their coach, who I think is good, is under the hot. People have been talking about him. I mean, you know who got Nate McMillan? The Hawks. They have him right there, the second assistant on that team, which is like, that signals like, oh, if you fuck up, we're firing you, and we have a good coach to replace you, Ingram. Right. So I think there's some pressure in Atlanta, and I still have them making the play. I actually, to spoil my next pick, I have them next. I have them at 8. But I think Indy's going to be better.
Yeah, it's tough. This is where it gets really tough for me. I think, man, once Oladipo's showing some flashes, his 3 is looking pretty good.
I don't know. He's actually shot pretty bad. At least the game I watched, he shot.
It's funny to me that he's shorter than Brogdon still. It's funny that he's shorter than the point guard. Yeah. I had Atlanta at 7 because I just think Gallinari is such a good shooter. They've got Collins. They've got Trae Young. Their D is going to be horrible, but I think
Bogdanovich.
They're going to shoot teams out of the fucking gym, and
yeah,
they
but
got
they're
Capella
good
at the rim. So I think they'll be interested. You don't think so?
I am not convinced about their defense at all. I think their defense is going to be atrocious.
You know what? You might have convinced me. Fuck it. You might have convinced me. Pacers 7, and all right. Who do you have 8? Atlanta.
I have Atlanta.
I have Atlanta out now. I don't have Atlanta making it.
Oh, who do you have? You have DC at 8?
I have the Knicks at 8. And let me explain. Why. Hold on. Don't laugh at me yet. Wait, come back for a second.
Yeah.
Come back. This is why I don't gamble, because I don't gamble with your heart, they say. But let me tell you why I have the Knicks.
He's done it again, folks.
Here's why I have the Knicks at 8. All right. This team has a lot to prove. Clearly, you haven't been watching the preseason. We're 3-1 in the preseason. Emmanuel Quickly is going to be a top 5 for Rookie of the Year, as is Obi Toppin. We have 2 rookies who are going to be in the mix for top 5 of the year. So, RJ Barrett takes a step forward. Mitchell Robinson takes a step forward.
You're so fucking awesome, Sam. You fucking rule, dude.
So you're laughing at me, but let me explain something. Who do I think is
You're a fucking idiot.
Do you know who
you should not be rooting for this, you fucking dummy. You should want them to have the worst fucking record in the league this year.
Guess who's in the mix for most improved player this year?
Oh my god.
Who's in the mix? Kevin Knox.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
59%.
I tried to teach you a lesson by doing the episode last time.
Take, baby. Knicks take it back.
Harry, we're gonna have to save.
I think the Wizards and the Hawks have more talent. I'll give you that. But I think the
fucking god!
The Thibodeau coaching. Here's the thing.
Usually fucking god!
Usually the offense looks good and the defense follows after. If you watch the preseason,
do you even believe this?
I do.
Do you even believe this?
In my heart, I believe this. Kevin Knox is going to have a breakout year. Everyone at Kentucky said it might take him a little longer, but when he fucking pops, he's gonna pop. I think this is what
happens. This is what happens when we have our preview the day after the Knicks have the best game in the franchise for the last 4 years by beating the fucking Cavs by, what was it, 50 points or whatever.
Have you watched Emmanuel Quickly play?
I've watched. Yeah, he's fucking. We were just talking about it. I think Quickly he's a better pick. He makes me feel better about them not taking a guard. I think he's got real chops, and I mean, I still think Toppin was a mistake. Ultimately,
I think Emmanuel Quickly shows flashes of Steph Curry. Flashes. Listen to me for a second. I know you're laughing. Have you? Okay, name a player in the draft with a better jump shot. Name a player in the draft with a better.
I don't fucking know, Sam. I don't fucking know.
Exactly. No one has a better 3-point shot in the draft. And guess what?
Oh my God.
Guess what? He's getting
What's that?
assists. He had 5 steals, dude. He's a rookie
Against the Cavs in a preseason game.
And but he's still hitting threes off the dribble like a young Steph. He's still
Who was guarding him? Who the fuck was guarding him?
Exactly. No, you can't even tell. He's got fucking teardrops floating in. Emmanuel Quickly should be the starting point guard on the New York Knicks.
Because he's guys. It seems okay. I'm gonna ignore Sam and talk directly to the listener here. You think Sam's doing a bit. You think Sam at this point is like you're looking at this and you're like, wow, this is a little much. I come for the Knicks delusion, but Sam's become self-aware and now he's hamming it up. He's been texting me this, and I thought he was joking when he was texting me. He is not kidding. These are his real opinions.
I think I watch Emmanuel Quickly close enough to know that he will have an absurdly good rookie season. Might not win Rookie of the Year. I think he and Obi will be in the conversation. I think LaMelo will be in the conversation.
They're gonna fucking take votes from each other, dude.
They will and they won't. They're different positions. I mean, I think Quickly.
I'm mocking
right now,
Sam. I'm mocking you, and you're like, no, that's a good point. It is a log jam at Rookie of the Year for the Knicks.
I gotta say, dude, you keep mocking me, and we'll see who has the last laugh.
We'll see. Hey, we will see.
Emmanuel Quickly will be a top 5 rookie. Mark my words. The 25th pick in the draft.
Top 5.
Fucking mocked. I think it was Sports Illustrated who gave us a D+ for that pick. Who's fucking laughing now, dude? Emmanuel Quickly.
Me and everyone listening to this episode right now.
Well,
that's
watch
the answer.
Emmanuel Quickly. Okay, look at his stats, dude. You can mock.
Dude, I'm not looking at his stats for 2 fucking games in the preseason against the Cavs and who else? The fucking Pistons. Suck my dick, Sam.
They actually were both against the Cavs.
Okay.
But
thank you.
Okay, let me tell you something, dude. I think we're a team. I give you that the Hawks are and the Pacers are better talent. Tibbs is a better coach. And I know I said that. I know I'm going against what I said earlier with Pop, but
we have been friends for years, and you're even shocking me right now, dude. This is tough. This is quarantine brain plus Knicks brain plus who knows what else, plus that fresh haircut, dude.
Knicks fans, stand up.
Well, Sam, that's a great point. And we'll let you know what? I'll give my thoughts on the Knicks when it's revealed where I have them for this season, which is just a little lower than 8. But you've fully derailed. You've fully derailed.
LaMelo will get more likes on Instagram, but Emmanuel Quickly will be the superior shooter. I mean, he's a better what?
This is awesome, dude. He's a better shooter. I'll give you that. Quickly's a better shooter than.
Can fucking hoop, dude.
Okay, that's fine. Great. That's who your number 8 is. My number 8 is the Atlanta Hawks. They have all that talent, and ultimately,
Young is a great player. I have to.
Trae Young's great, and ultimately, I believe in Lloyd Pierce at least to be able to get them there. And I think Gallinari has already talked about coming off the bench, and
unbelievable.
They're
deep. They're deep for sure.
They're really deep, and depth is could be a real asset in a season like this where, like we said, injuries, COVID, who fucking knows?
There's a chance they take the Knicks spot at 8. But
the Knicks you.
But
at least you admit there's a chance.
I can't run now.
You can't run. No, you're not. You're right.
Not running. You think I'm fucking scared?
Okay. So Atlanta, a lot of firepower. Think it's going to take them a little while to get it together. And ultimately, I just believe in all the teams above. It's not that I think they're bad so much as I just believe in all the teams we discussed.
I had the Wizards in before all of Atlanta's moves, but I think Atlanta's making some.
I have the Wizards at 9.
Mm-hmm. And the Wizards could shock people. Beal could have just a huge year, and you never know. So
yeah, I think Beal and Russ will be a good fit. I mean, Russ is a great fit on that team as long as he doesn't overshadow Beal too much. But we've seen him; he's great at playing, at being 1A to a superstar. He did it with Durant. Obviously, he did it with Paul George. Paul George's numbers were great when he played with Russ, and from reading that Houston Rockets piece that we talked about on the Patreon, seems like Russ is just going to be happy to be in a fucking organization that runs on time. Beal, from everything I've read about him, he's the same way. He's serious about work. He's got a great work ethic. So I think Russ might, as much as he's talked about playing his game, I think more than anything, he just hated being in that Houston culture. And I think he's with Scotty Brooks, who was his coach in OKC. They have a great relationship.
When you are a star and they're deferring to another star, that's got to be demoralizing.
What do you mean for Russ?
Well, yeah, I mean they were deferring to Harden and him being late.
Right. Oh, true. You just feel powerless when you're that level of a great player. Whereas in his other situations, KD clearly was not that. He wasn't that guy, and even Harden was there as the fucking sixth man. And then Paul George doesn't strike me as that guy either, and Bradley Beal definitely doesn't seem like that guy. So I just think they have. Russ was fucking all NBA. Bradley Beal, I think, got robbed from the All-Star game. They just have, at this spot, when you look at the remaining teams, they just clearly have the most talent. And I think this one's a no-brainer. And then who do you have who did you have at this spot?
Either the Hawks or the Wizards. I think
right. Of course, I forget.
But look, I mean, either of them could take the Knicks spot. They obviously have more veteran leadership. The Knicks literally have lineups where the oldest player is rookie Obi Toppin on the floor this year.
Right,
so
right.
Look, it is a
great sign that your rookie's the oldest player. Great sign, by the way.
I will say this though. Yeah, I think the Wizards and Hawks will be good, so they could take that spot from the Knicks easily.
Okay, so I believe that's playing 1, 2. I should have numbered these. I'm fucking stupid. Okay, so that's 9. Who do you have at 10? I guess Hawks or Wizards.
Hawks or Wizards.
So my 10 seed is the Chicago Bulls.
Ugh, fuck
this is, again, a little bit of the listening back to last season, I really believed in them. And you know what? Let's run it back.
I think Kobe's a good player. I like Kobe White a lot.
Kobe's a really good player.
He's going to be in the mix for most improved. I know rookie last year, I think he's going to have a big jump too. He's a good player.
I think one of their bigs is going to step up. I think their previous coach just fucked them up. I think Markkanen
is it Laurie Legend or Wendell Carter? Who?
I think I don't know. One of those two is going to prove themselves to be a useful player. Going to be, and I don't think either of them is going to be as bad under Donovan. So
I think the Knicks are a better team than they are.
You want to run back the battle for lunch?
Well, we never got to complete it.
Double or nothing, baby. Double or 2 lunches or nothing. Well, maybe we up it to a steak dinner now because it's steak 2 meals.
Dinner? Let's fucking dance, bro.
Steak dinner for the battle for steak. Bulls versus Knicks. We're gonna run it back. Who's got the better fucking record?
Let's fucking rock.
So beautiful. I love it. And so I don't know. I think this is a little bit of a stretch. I could see it going bad, but I just think they have some talent and they have an upgraded coach. And I like their organization now. And Patrick Williams, as much as I was talking about the pick, seems pretty good I haven't watched that much of him, but he seems better than I thought he was going to be, even though he was like a 6-man in college. But what scares me about this pick is that I think Karnisovich, their new GM, is smart and understands what he's doing. And it would be wise to tank this year. It would be very wise to tank in a year where a lot of teams are trying to make the playoffs and the draft is very.
See, that's not how we think about it here in New York.
And that's your only shot at the battle for lunch is that the Knicks are going to be fucking idiots. Thibodeau's like, we got to get to 30 wins instead of bottoming out and maybe getting, there's 5 prospects from the early draft
Kevin
stuff.
Knox's 3-point shot right now, and you need to watch.
You need to be praying that the Knicks suck, you fucking idiot.
Why? When
Cade
we have
Cunningham, bro.
We have 5 killer fucking young players.
You think? You're ready to roll with these guys?
Fucking Emmanuel.
Let the listeners know. Sam responded in a visual way. He did a swish. He did a shot, and then he went.
Yeah, that's Emmanuel quickly shattering Steph Curry's records.
All right,
no, I'm not saying that yet, but I will say that I think he's a fucking stud. I love quickly. Okay, for the
Bulls, you have at 11.
I didn't go this far. I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't think the Bulls. I think the Magic are better than the Bulls, honestly.
That's fair, and I just thought the Magic. the Magic are better, but I just or have proven themselves more. I just thought the Magic were due
They
for.
don't have Isaac, which hurts.
They don't have Isaac, and I just think, isn't it demoralizing to just do this over and over again? You're the 8th seed, you get
Perennial.
spanked over and over again.
Yeah, how many
Like,
times they've gotten like the 6th draft?
Who
pick
even
or-
cares? Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? It just, again, it's a little bit from the heart. That I just not excited about the Magic, but maybe
you're
I'm
right.
wrong. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're right.
the
You have
chalk.
I'm guessing you have the Knicks last. I'm guessing that's what you're building towards.
The chalk.
Is that what you're doing to me right now? You have the fucking Knicks last. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I have after Orlando. To be fair, I have Charlotte. I think
They're
even though
not better
Gordon,
than the Knicks, they're not a better team.
you don't think right now they're.
I think LaMelo is going to get more likes. on Instagram.
Gordon Hayward,
Yeah,
LaMelo.
let's see how many games he plays.
The kid from Villanova, Terry Rozier,
Devontae Graham.
Devontae Graham. I mean, come on, Sam. What the fuck is wrong with you?
See
That's
them
a
try to
better
throw
roster.
Drop over fucking Mitchell Robinson. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. This is
He's
the time of year.
Mitchell Robinson
You're
has
preying
5
on
fouls
me.
in the third
You're
quarter.
preying on me
They're
because
not-
you know that I fucking always believe this time of year. You know
not-
that I believe. Stop.
They're not. They don't have to worry about Mitchell Robinson because he's got 5 fouls. He's on the fucking bench. Detroit, I have after them just because I think
Before the fucking Knicks.
who's better than Blake Griffin or Derrick
Blake
Rose?
is better than anyone on the Knicks. I'll give you that. Blake is fucking better. I just think too many of the players on the team.
They
are
signed
redundant.
all those guys. It's not a smart thing, but they have more. I mean, they have Plumlee. They have fucking Grant. They signed. Even I like their rookie.
You have my Knicks last. That's what you're building towards.
And next, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I think they
Did you not see the Knicks spank them 2 straight fucking preseason?
I think they're gonna learn from that, and I think they're gonna rebuild, and I think they're gonna regroup.
Fuck you. You're a
And
troll.
I think Kevin Love. Who's a better player than Kevin Love? Do the Knicks have anyone as good as Kevin Love?
You'd like to tell me that I'm mentally ill. You're a fucking troll. You're just trying to poke. You're trying to poke me, Stavros. I'm not taking this shit. And I'm excited for Kevin Knox to fucking stroke threes all night long. Quote me on this, motherfucker. Quote me on this.
And last, I have the New York Knickerbockers.
Fuck you.
I think probably they'll end up better than Cleveland, but I just had to put them last just because you came too hot. Tibbs doesn't like to lose, but I think it would be the bet in your best interest, Sam. That's the thing. I want what's best for you right now.
No, you don't. You want
I
me to
do.
suffer.
I fucking do. I want you to suffer temporarily to reach great heights. There's teams. There's a point. There's two point guards in this draft that people say are fucking awesome. If the Knicks
Are they
get
better
the
than
worst,
Emmanuel quickly?
yes.
Watch
They're
him
huge.
play and then talk shit, dude.
How tall is Quickly, motherfucker?
He's 6'3".
Okay, Cade Cunningham's the guy we need to be working for. That motherfucker's like 6'7", incredible passer, incredible
Maybe
finisher.
we'll play him with quickly. We'll play him together.
Maybe, dude. That's fine. That's exactly. Now
Okay.
we're look. I'm not saying you get to keep Quickly, buddy. All right. I'm not taking Quickly from you. I just want him to have the number 1 pick playing next to him. Okay.
All right.
But I think that if the Knicks were smart, they would tank and they just get a top 3. If you're the worst team in the league, you're guaranteed to be in the top 3. Just fucking play the odds, baby. Let's make it be a developmental year. Let's not get fucking crazy. Money doesn't matter. You're not losing money at the gate because your team is awful, even though that doesn't even happen here because we fucking love the Knicks too much. Because of people like you, the gate will never really suffer. But that's what's the smartest thing for the Knicks, bro. Like, look at this. We need to start doing draft stuff earlier so that you get fucking excited for these guys. So anyway, maybe
I'll be happy to buy you a steak if that's the case. But
exactly. We'll be smiling, you know what I mean, at Luger's. Hopefully we'll have indoor dining by the time we pay this out. But that's our preview, folks. Let's go. But before we're done, let's go over our awards. But Sam, I have to give it to you, man. That was one of the best. I didn't think you had something. We just made you listen to your predictions. We just made you listen to fucking.
That was with fucking older players, dude. This is a brand spanking new.
And you just you're the best.
Who do you have for MVP this year?
This one is a really hard one. Like I said, I think Giannis is going to deserve it. I just don't see them giving it to him a third time.
Yeah.
For me, it's, I could obviously see a situation where it's Luka. I could see a situation where it's Dame. If he catches fire and they're as good as you think they are, I think Dame almost, and he has the kind of numbers he does.
Yeah.
Because
I have Dame, I think 2 right now. I have Luka, then Dame, and then I wrote KD.
Ooh, KD is the fucking narrative too. Dude.
I might have to go KD too. Here's the thing. They're not going to give it to Luka over KD if the Nets get the 1 seed. So maybe I got to.
You know what? KD. I think KD makes a lot of sense. He looks great. And now the problem with KD is how many games is he going to play? Are they going to sit him in back-to-backs?
I don't think so. It looks like, and also back-to-backs, dude. It's a short. They're spreading it out more, aren't they?
If KD plays, if he's not really load managing, which I kind of think he should, let's be honest. This is the narrative, the strongest for KD. It's his comeback. He's a great player. He only has 1 MVP. It would get him in the two MVP club, or the over 1 MVP club, which would be huge. If it's not him, I could see, again, narrative. I could see it being AD. If this is the kind of year where LeBron is sitting back, right? LeBron isn't playing every game. He's biding his time.
Right.
It could be AD. But you know what? I like the KD pick. Fuck it. I'll go KD.
Yeah. All right. Who's your 6th man?
6th man, I have I'll say Danilo Gallinari.
Okay.
I think he's the best player that's coming off the bench. And 6th man is not the kind of award where like MVP you have to be a top 4 seed typically. Lou Williams won it on teams where like those Clippers were an 8th seed, or you know what I mean?
That's fair.
So I could see Gallinari having a lot,
I love Gallo. I'm going whoever, either Dinwiddie or LeVert, whichever one comes off the bench. I think you got to go with one, either them or the Schroeder-Montrez situation with a dark horse of Melo, as I said before.
I think the dark horse for me is Clarkson. Actually, I think he could, because he is a true 6 man. I think he's a true 6 man.
I forgot they have them. They're good.
Because
good.
The thing about Dinwiddie LeVert is, I think the Nets are just going to be really. I think they're just going to be very fluid, and I don't think there'll be one standout 6 man. You know what I mean? Like I think they're going to change their lineups a lot.
It's not about standout though. It's about numbers, and I think no matter what, LeVert and Dinwiddie will put up numbers.
But what I'm saying is like there won't be one clear choice on that team, and because there's so many mouths on that team, I think they're kind of like. But you're right. I mean, that's a smart choice. I think Clarkson and Gallo are so clearly the 6th men. And in the way that this award likes to be given out, which is basically who's getting 20 points off the bench. That's essentially what this award is. It doesn't go to like a defensive guy. It doesn't go to like an all-around player. It goes to a guy that fills it up off the bench. And I think Gallo and Clarkson, that's their main job. And I think so. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards them. But yeah, I'll say Gallinari. Fuck it.
Who do you have for MIP?
This is a hard one.
Very hard.
I think the people in the mix are Porter Jr.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
I think Ayton.
Yeah.
Ayton is really big because I mean he's playing with fucking Chris Paul, dude. You see what that does to big men. You know what I mean? It's like
great pick.
Yeah, it's like Blake didn't really like playing with him because Blake is such a good offensive player. He's almost like a point forward.
Right.
Ayton's not. Ayton doesn't want to fucking run the offense. Ayton wants to get set up. And so I think Ayton could really benefit with the spacing Booker provides and the passing Paul does. And he could have like a huge breakout year.
Ayton might be smoking some cushy dreams. I mean, he's that.
I think he's going to be puffing on the cushy dreams like you've never seen before. I think DeAndre Ayton is going to be ordering some high quality CBD from our friends at cushydreams.com because this man is ready. He's poised to make a big he's going to make a big jump. And you're not going to do that smoking drugs. The man was just last year, DeAndre Ayton was fucking suspended for his, they said it was PEDs. What if it was weed? You know what I mean? This man, he doesn't even need steroids anymore because he smokes the high quality, the lab tested, shipped directly to your door, CBD plants from our friends at Cushy Dreams. He smokes they got different strains. He smokes the hustle and he hits the bench press. That's what DeAndre Ayton does. He's getting fucking jacked off the product from our friends at cushydreams.com. And
promo code pod don't for 20%
and that's
off.
the thing. If you want to be like DeAndre Ayton or you want to be like me and Sam, what you're going to want to do is go to our friends at cushydreams.com. You go to kushydreams.com and you put in promo code pod don't, PODDONT. And that's right, Sammy. You get 20% off your first order. Mamma mia, what a fucking deal. You're going to be like me. You're going to be like DeAndre, and you're going to be fucking puffing that beautiful CBD. And by the way, we're not fucking taking gummies. We're not smoking fucking vapes. What are we, children? Were you on TikTok? No, you smoke it. You light a fire. You burn a fucking plant. You inhale the beautiful fucking smoke in your lungs, and you kick back with a nice Monster Energy drink and Lagavulin cocktail. Just like
cocktail. Fuck that shit.
with a maraschino cherry in it.
I do like the cherry. I'll give you that.
I love the cherry. But you got you got to go to Cushy Dreams. You got to puff it up. I'm excited to be puffing that shit up for this new season. And look, they got they got pre-roll joints. I'm not trying to roll that shit. I like my shit pre-rolled.
They do a good job with those joints. I like them.
They're great. They smoke great. They smoke nice and even. They're beautiful. But if you're more rustic, you want to fucking put your shit and you want to roll your own shit, or you want to put it in a pipe, you want to fucking mix it with some stuff. They got fucking 3.5 gram little tins, vacuum sealed, ready to go for your little bitch ass. So that's what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna want to go to fucking cushydreams.com, promo code PODDONT, PODDONT, and fucking get 20% off your first order and smoke and think of me, think of Sam, think of DeAndre Ayton while you're doing it. So yeah, I think Aiden's got a good chance.
Other names, I know you fucking mocked this before. I think Zion's in the conversation. I think John Morant is in the conversation.
It's not that I mocked it.
Second year players are in the conversation. I think RJ Barrett could have a fucking year.
Oh my fucking god!
I don't think he's gonna
second
get it.
Year players,
conversation.
Second year players should not be eligible for the fucking award, dude. It's like it's got to be third and up as far as I'm concerned.
But that's not the rules. But if that's how you feel,
well, who's the last second year player that won it? Who's the last second year player that won it?
I don't know off the top of my head.
If it wasn't Luka, it's like
Luka could have been MVP. That's
but that's what I'm saying. You're telling me that's not a fucking jump? You're telling me going from a fucking good rookie to almost an MVP? If it's not going to be, let's go through this.
I disagree, but I think you make an interesting point. Other names that jump out to me, Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he has.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he might be my pick if I had to choose one. Christian Wood, I think, is in the mix. I think Andrew Wiggins is a potential MIP.
Yeah, I suppose.
In a different system that suits his strengths, that forces him to make less decisions and just work within the offense.
And if he fills it up, if he's like their second leading scorer. I mean, if Wiggins wins MIP, I don't think that's good for the Warriors necessarily, because I think that means he's scoring a lot. And
it's a good point. It is a statistical award. So I do. My pick is Gilgeous-Alexander, but
I like that pick a lot. I like that pick a lot because
Christian Wood is another good pick, I think.
Yeah, I just think the Rockets' situation is going to be too chaotic for him. Mm-hmm. And it's gotten to the point where everyone's sucking off Christian Wood so much that it's making me think like he's getting overrated just by word of mouth alone.
Right.
But I think Shea's a good pick because, he had Chris Paul there last year, kind of blocking his, how much he's going to handle the ball. He becomes their number 1 point, Chris Paul and fucking, what's his face that's on the Lakers now is gone. The German motherfucker. So their three-headed point guard thing is just Shea. Although I think George Hill is on that team. It's hard to even remember who the fuck Schroeder. It's hard to even remember who's on that fucking team now. But I think George Hill is technically on that team. But yeah, there's not that many fucking points. Let's even look at this fucking.
Who do you have?
Hold on, let's see.
Looking, yeah.
Whoa, Ariz is on that team.
He's on OKC.
Yeah.
Wow.
Didn't he get you?
They got
Frank
Horford.
Jackson, Al Horford, George Hill. Yeah. Oh, Theo Maledon, nice. Anyway,
and who do you have for Coach of the Year?
Coach of the year, I got my boy Doc Rivers, dude. I'm like doubling
Yeah.
down on the Sixers. If I believe the Sixers are going to be as good as they are, and I think,
Well, you got to give some love to Ty Lue too if you're putting the Clippers one.
yeah, but they were the 2 seed last year. The Sixers were I mean, they were fucking dog shit. They lose in the first
Narrative
round.
plays a role. That's fair.
I just think, and Doc, if anything, yeah, Doc bouncing back from the Clippers fiasco to fucking lead this team that could never figure it out, especially when everyone was saying that the Clippers' problem was chemistry and they were blaming him. If he can fucking get the chemistry of the Sixers to work, then he kind of deals with his own demons in a way. And, I hope to see the Sixers. I'm sucking them off hard right now.
Too hard.
I hope I am, but listen, I didn't realize you were going to come out here with this atomic New York Knicks are going to make the playoffs bomb, because I thought I was going to have to spice it up. Little did I know I could have just picked chalk and you would have come through with a hysterical take to I feel a little stupid. I kind of want to drop the Sixers down to 3 now, but I'm a man of my fucking word. I'll stay because
I'm
we get
locked into a fucking steak dinner on the Knicks. You know how fucking painful this is going to be? I believe, but I know that reason and being a Knicks fan are not linked.
Well, it's double or nothing. You already lost half the bet. Let's not. I'm giving you a chance to win to turn a loss into a steak dinner. So let's not get crazy.
Fucking quickly, baby. All right, I got for Coach of the Year. I got Vogel and Nash tied at 1 because I just picked them both as the 1 seed. I think a dark horse.
It would go to Nash, I think.
I think it would go to Nash just for the narrative, but I got Monty Williams as the dark horse here, and I think Monty Williams could take it because I think what he did in the bubble, raising morale, the front office has made some good moves. I think if they make the playoffs, he's definitely a consideration.
Yeah, I think that's a very good pick because I think, it's not a shoe. And I mean, we looked at these it's fucking brutal when you look at these teams. There's a lot of good teams. And
I'm excited to look at All-Star because the All-Star lists are going to be so fucking hard this year.
Going to be crazy. Going to be weird. And what sucks is the guys that get in as injury replacements because there's no game. So if you're injured, it doesn't even matter. So there won't be an injury replacement this year. It's just whoever's there. But yeah, I haven't even thought about who's making All NBA, who's doing All-Star, who's whatever. I just can't wait for the fucking basketball to start. My dick is on turbo hard now.
What do you have for Rookie of the Year? Who do you have?
Rookie of the Year, I think there's some interesting stuff. Look, I think Toppin is a real possibility because he fills it up and he's going to get a chance to play. Although Tibbs, bro, Tibbs might not start him. Tibbs might have he's a bad defensive player. Who knows? But I think my pick is going to be someone who it feels like he shouldn't technically be allowed to be, but he is. Bol Bol. Bol Bol is technically allowed to be Rookie of the Year because he only played in the bubble and they played 6 games in the bubble.
I just don't think so. I mean, look, I get it. I don't think he's going to get a chance to put up the numbers necessary.
That's true. Toppin, LaMelo, those guys are going to get more.
Exactly.
More. LaMelo is probably the odds-on favorite, maybe. But again, I'm picking from my heart.
Even Edwards, if that guy gets minutes.
Yeah, I guess for some reason, and again, based on nothing, this whole preview is based on nothing. I don't know. Something about Edwards and the Wolves in general rubs me the wrong way.
Okay, I do think.
But he'll get a shot. I'll
give you my 5. LaMelo's in there. I think Obi is definitely in there. Just it depends on how many minutes he'll get behind Randall or if you'll just start him. I think, I think I don't have Bol in my 5. I think quickly you laughing at me, but watch him play and then tell me I'm fucking
okay.
wrong.
All right.
The Knicks don't have a real point guard. You tell me why you wouldn't start him over Payton and Rivers. Those are both guys off the bench to me.
Because your fucking great coach Tom Thibodeau is the kind of fucking asshole that gives a fuck about doesn't start rookies and wants to win because it's competitive every day. I think that's a problem.
I will petition. Okay.
Okay.
So, what other rookies look good to me? I don't think he's going to get a chance because of who he's playing behind. I really like Halliburton. I think he's really good.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
But I don't think he doesn't profile as the kind of player that gets the award. You know what I mean? Like a really solid rotation guy.
If he gives you 10 and 4, that's probably
he's like
not
Brogdon,
enough.
bro. He's like Brogdon. You know what I mean? It's like Brogdon won because Embiid was injured.
Right. Who else are we missing?
Denny. I think Denny's a real option.
I think he's got an option.
Because the Wizards are going to be good, and he's looked fucking great. He's looked really good.
And you were mocking him, motherfucker.
I was. Hey, listen, but that's the thing. I can change, Sam. So what's insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's you, bitch. I'm over here taking in fucking data, changing how I believe, updating my view on the world. I'm rooting for Denny, and I like the Wizards, man. It's like, it's a fun story. It'll be fun.
I'll tell you what's a fun story. The Knicks turning shit around under a guy who was an assistant coach in the 90s.
It's not
coming back to fucking take control, baby.
It would be disastrous for the Knicks if they got the 8th seed this year.
No,
because it fucks them.
That means we are playing young players, and we somehow are in the playoffs with our youth.
You're a fucking idiot.
You're wrong.
That would mean that you skip out. You fucking, you tank, get the fucking 8th seed. A guy like Halliburton drops to you. You say, no, let me get the guy who fucking can't touch his toes, even though he's got a 7-foot wingspan, who's got scoliosis.
You're insulting my man, Obi Toppin. Right
and then in a year where there's an incredible draft and almost every other team in the fucking league is trying to be good, they decide they're gonna fucking do everything they can to get the 8th seed instead of just having a developmental year, playing their guys, letting them get better long term, and then hopefully drafting in the top 3. That in a great draft. That's what you need, you fucking dunce. You want the 8th seed. You want to get fucking waxed by the here's what you want.
Going to develop so fucking much this season. Your head's gonna spin.
How about this? You fucking this is good. This is the best part. Who did you pick as the 1 seed? The Nets. You want your fucking Knicks to get swept by Brooklyn. You want the fucking your team to get swept. You want your team to get swept by Brooklyn, miss out on the fucking best lottery there's been in years.
For what?
For what? So quickly can be snubbed by second team. So you can say, go ahead.
The Knicks show up to the 1 versus 8 seed. The entire Nets team contracts coronavirus from Kevin Durant. They have to forfeit the first 3 games.
Then you know what happens? Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire beat you, and they're fucking Sean Marks. Their fucking GM. Their GM was on that Suns team too, by the way. So that's what happens. D'Antoni even suits up from his old Italian league days, the Buffalino or whatever the fuck they called him.
Quickly, dude, Emmanuel Quickly. Look out! I can't wait till you have to give it up for Quickly. I can't.
I'm not against. That's the thing. I'm not against Quickly. I want him to be good. You're saying him and Obi are going to be. We don't even have to wait a year to listen back to what you said for me to laugh at it. I can't wait to listen to this episode. I'm going to send the fucking audio to Harry and then just listen.
We have a tough schedule out of the gate. The Knicks have a lot of road games out of the gate, and I think we're not going to be rattled. I think our young guys are gritty. And look, do we have the offensive firepower that other teams have? No, but we have one of the best defensive coaches ever in Tom Thibodeau.
I love this. We're going to look back. We're going to take this clip 10 games into the season. We're going to look at the Knicks record. We won't have to wait a year. We'll have to wait 2 weeks to see. We're not going to be rattled. You got me rooting for the Knicks to go 0-10 just so that clip will be even better. Anyway, this is Sam, my friend. You've outdone yourself. I have to say, this is one of the finest. You put on a great performance. We've had 2. This has been maybe my second favorite episode since the last one. And but the point is, folks, we're very, very excited. Too excited, some might say, about the season. But you can't say we're not an enthusiastic podcast. So we really appreciate you guys listening. I can't wait for this to go. Why don't we read a couple fucking 5-star reviews, Sammy? What do you say?
I like it.
And guys, please keep leaving us these reviews. It really helps, especially now that the season is about to start. People are trying to find a new NBA podcast. They're tired of listening to an NBA podcast where the hosts aren't talking about eating pussy or making 9/11 jokes within 2 minutes of it starting. The people have said, we want Zach Lowe to talk about the Mujahideen more. Well, folks, we're the only way that people will find us.
Why doesn't Woj talk about Larsa Pippen more often?
Yeah, why doesn't? Yeah. Where's the rim job? The rim job material from Brian Windhorst, huh? Anyway, in fact, thank you. This is a review from Tomato. We podding on the association, baby. I unequivocally trust these two knuckleheads on the NBA more than Zach Lowe or any of these journalists. You know what I'm saying? And absolutely correct. That's a great point.
Yeah, keep leaving us these reviews because I think it helps us with the
This-
algorithm.
This next one is this one's from Nationalize the Knicks, which I love. Let's have the federal government step in. Sam's
I feel like
delusion.
if Andrew Yang becomes mayor, I feel like that will help the Knicks somehow. I don't know.
Let's get Yang in the mix. I don't even give a fuck anymore. Sam's delusion is infectious. Every time Stav laughs, an angel gains its wings, and every time Sam brings up the Knicks, a fellow Jewish Knicks fan gains another eyebrow hair. There we go. Thank you, Nationalize the Knicks. Everything you want and more from an NBA pod, says Ansel Maki. Whether it's borderline deranged Knicks talk or calling John Wall an ugly penis compared to a cute Bradley Beal penis, these boys know how to talk.
We said that? I don't remember.
I guess we did. But anyway, leave us those reviews. We will be reading them at the end of every free episode. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/poddon'tlie. We have a really great episode up there where we listen back to last year's version of this podcast. And you won't be surprised to find out that Sam had some incredibly measured takes about the Knicks. Then
Watch
today.
a game, dude. I've been watching. You had 3-1.
You know what the best part is? That's what you were saying last year too. You're like, have you watched him? You're like, that's your go-to, motherfucker, because you watched one more preseason game than me. Thank you again, guys. We will be back after Christmas. I guess the Friday, the 26th, probably. We'll do a recap of the first week of NBA action. But thank you guys for listening, and we cannot wait to talk to you again. And we can't wait for fucking basketball. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.